We're going to talk about WarGreymon X antibody, the deck profile today. If you guys remember on Tuesday, I did the black WarGreymon version of the deck. And today I wanted to do the opposite side of the coin with a lot more of a happier Mario, not such a dark douchebag Mario. And I want to go over the WarGreymon X antibody deck. That works for me. I think it is tier 1. It's capable of topping big events as people have done in this format. I'm going to show you what makes the deck special to me and why this version of the deck, again, took all format to get, but it's there. I have it, and I'm very happy with it. If you guys like this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bell on the smash potatoes. That way you know when all these amazing Digimon videos go live. So starting with the babies, a little bit of a change from the last video here. We are doing just 4 Koromons. We are doing the 4 draw Koromons. We don't need the 5th egg. We also don't need the DP from the any other egg. I'll explain why we don't need it, but for now, just know that sometimes it's good to just pull up a Agumon Greymon stack if you have nothing going on, get a chip damage in, and that's it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Pretty good. Rookies. Anyone that's familiar with the Black WarGreymon video, well, it's the same lineup. Agumon plus 2000, we play 4 of it. Agumon BT5, Search of Greymon or Omnimon. Actually, a little more relevant because we play more Omnimons in this deck. And we're playing the 4 Agumon X Antibody because it is X Antibody deck, and we love to see it. And that's really that easy. It's pretty cool. This Agumon in particular is one of the reasons why we don't need the plus 1000 egg, because this just gives you plus 2000 on your Greymon cards, and that's perfectly okay. The rookie lineup is the same as the other deck because it doesn't need to change. You're doing the same shit. You're trying to accomplish the same reason. You have this Agumon for your inheritable stack, hopefully always, and you have these Agumons to help facilitate your plays and help you deck thin. So 12 rookies is all you need. Again, the deck plays enough starters where the 12 rookies is honestly okay. Alright. The first big change of the deck, we're obviously not playing the black blocker inheritable Greymon. We're playing 4 of the BT5 Greymon. The one where if you evolve onto an Agumon, you gain a memory. It does not work with Agumon X Antibody. Don't do it. Don't do it. Has to be specifically an Agumon, if you guys can see that. And then the inheritable gives you plus 2000 DP. Again, another reason that you don't need the plus 1000 egg. And we're going to talk about more about theory on this deck in a second. But we play 4 of this. The rest of the lineup, though, is the same from the Black WarGreymon deck. 4 X Antibody Greymon X, because it's just, you need it. You need the protection, and you need that evolution. 3 Security plus 1 Greymons. Almost want to play 4, but I think the Agunimon is a little more valuable than the 4th Security plus 1 Greymon. Because sometimes, again, you can just hybrid for game with the right setup. You won't always have Blitz Omni. Sometimes the Agunimon has come up, and sometimes it does win games. That's it for our champion lineup. 12 champions again. Very similar. Very similar. And speaking of things that are super similar, yeah, people are going to fucking hate this, but I'm playing 4 Metal Greymon in this deck because it does give you a little bit of a control aspect, and again, it does make your D-Reaper matchup free, and it does make any matchups free where you do need to attack an unsuspended Digimon. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to. You just kind of have to. Plus the Digivolving and deleting something small is cool. So it pops memory blockers and other small stupid things. And this is also the same. I'm playing 3 of this. This card is incredibly important. It gives you security plus 1 and plus 3000. I'm going to explain in just a little bit why this matters. But for now, we play 3 of it. And we do also play the 2 Metal Greymon Alterous modes. I promise the deck is going to look very different very soon. But you need this card in this deck. It's a Metal Greymon. It's really needed. Popping 5000 matters. And the protection can come up sometimes. So that's it for level 5s. Same as the last deck profile. We play 3 BT1 WarGreymon because the plus security matters. And the delicate plan effect really matters. It really matters in this deck for one strat. And then the other strat you can play is 3 WarGreymon X. For those of you that are unaware what this card does, it evolves into from a WarGreymon for 2. Otherwise, you got to evolve for 4. All turns when a card is removed from the security stack, gain a memory. So like if this swings into security and does 3 damage, you gain 3 memory, which is poggers. And then end of attack once per turn, so it has to survive the attack. If WarGreymon is in this stack, you do pop a Digimon DP lower. What I like to do sometimes, again, it's why I love this Metal Greymon so much, this one in particular. It's end of attack. You don't have to hit security if you don't want to. What you can do is swing into an unsuspended Digimon and pop the other one with the end of attack trigger. It's not always about swinging into security and gaining memory back. If you want to be honest, like perfectly honest, I would rather never swing into security with this unless I need memory. I would much always want to swing with this guy because at least Delicate Plan comes up a lot. Whereas this memory is cool and all that, but it's not Delicate Plan protection. So if it gets Cock Breath, Mega Death, Gaia Forced, it's dead. It's dead. Unlike this, where it's not dead. And you can't just hit a Hammer Spark into security or something and ruin your day. You can't do that. So we play these level 6s. This is all you need for level 6s. I think anything else is cute but unnecessary. Like some people play the EX1 WarGreymon. I think that's completely unnecessary. I don't think it does anything for the deck. Not really. Nothing that you can't handle anyway with your other cards. We play 2 Blitz Omni. Can I get some blitzes in the chat? Huh? Double Blitz? Because in the Black WarGrey deck profile, we played 1 of these bad boys. We actually play 2. Because we're also playing 1 copy of Omnimon X Antibody. This is very particular. When attacking, popping something is very cool. It's there, though, for the extra protection. Because if you can get a dream stack of, like, this, this, that, and, like, this, and that, your Omnimon, with maybe even fucking these cards, whatever. If you can get the dream stack with an X antibody, you are not killing this thing. It negates attacks, and it prevents its own destruction and bouncing. It's such a derogatory floodgate in this deck, where if you don't just kill them outright, you can sit on this and just destroy them. They can't interact with this card. Not really. There's very little that interacts with this card at that point in time. So, I like it a lot. I think you have to play the 1 in this deck. It does help you against certain matchups. Anyway, so we do 3 Omnis. You can blitz for game, protect it, whatever, or you can just sell next antibody and do all sorts of stuff. Here you go. That's it for our Digimon in this deck. We'll go into more combo lines in a second, but I want to go through the rest of the deck first, which, yeah, I'm playing 2 Red Memory Boost. Can't make that up. We're not doing Breath of the Gods, don't worry. It's not an exact carbon copy. We are doing 2 Red Memory Boost. No breath. We need the memory and the consistency. We're doing 2 Cool Boy, because again, while you will be doing some X antibody shenanigans, and arguably more than in the Black WarGrey deck, it's still not 100% needed. You know what I mean? It's nice, it's cool. Cool Boy, huh? But it's not really needed. We are doing the 2 tie, because the extra security comes up. It really does. It wins games. And we are also playing 2 Nokia. Again, Nokia helps it so you don't pass the turn. It's very important sometimes that you don't pass the turn. If you need to do a WarGreymon X turn, you need to be able to have the cards to make sure you don't pass the turn, which is part of the reason why Nokia is here. We would do more. Originally in this deck, it was 2, 3, and 1. However, I really liked the 2-2-2 split, because Nokia does offer you utility that Cool Boy doesn't sometimes. Yeah, you don't get the draw, but like you can evolve into this Metal Greymon and not pass the turn. That does come up. Combos! I want to go into the differences between this deck and the black war gray deck. Why these strategies differ so much. There are some people live under the bubble where you have to turbo into WarGreymon X or you have to turbo into WarGreymon. People don't realize that it's matchup dependent, and people don't realize that, you know, sometimes they'll just go for one or the other. I'll see it all the time. They just say, you know what, I have this, so I'm just gonna fucking go for it, which is incorrect. I really hate this card. However, its utility against certain matchups where you need to pop Digimon and or gain memory to get an advantage on the opponent is super important. You guys might also have noticed we're not playing any X antibody. We're not playing that option because we just don't need it. I don't need my WarGreymon swinging and then turning into an X antibody. It doesn't matter. It does nothing for me. It literally does nothing, chat. And YouTube, it does nothing. Most of the time, I want to be able to play this deck like an Ancient Greymon deck, where I can just go have a setup like this, this, whatever, this, maybe this, and this, right? Or sorry, you can't do both. This particularly is the setup you want. Ideally, what you do is you build your stack in the back. It can be either Metal Greymon, doesn't matter for the sake of the example here. But what you can do, right, is if you have this whole setup here, on your turn, you can promote. You can evolve into Metal Greymon X, give you plus security and a 3,000. Which, keep in mind, you're also getting another 2,000 because of this. So your WarGreymon, when you evolve into it, is 16,000. Just like the typical Ancient Greymon stack, it doesn't die unless you hit Oryukin or Imperial Paladin mode, which is just not common at all. And you get the security for this. So you get one security for the game existing. You get one for this, one for this, one for this, and one for this. You're doing 5 checks. And then we're playing more Blitz Omnis. So you can just freaking Blitz Omni for game after. You know what I mean? I think, as ironic as this sounds, the best way to play this deck is just to play WarGreymon OTK and play it like an Ancient Greymon deck. Because it fucking works. The strategy works. You need a little bit more setup to do it. And the deck is able to go control, as we mentioned. Against certain matchups, these cards are very strong with your X antibody cards for protection. Very important that you're able to differentiate when you need to play a little more control or when you can just push the gas pedal and just go. Unlike Black WarGreymon, where 90% of the time you're hitting the brakes. You're not going full aggressive. This deck can and does often. Most of the matches I win are because I pull off this combo and it works fine. Or if you're missing one of these cards, that's why I said before, maybe doing a little bit of chip damage isn't a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing. Do one bit of chip damage, you know? Draw a card, and then it takes some of the pressure off for you having all the pieces. You know what I mean? Anyway, the real reason why I wanted to show this deck profile is because I wanted to do Black WarGreymon one day and WarGreymon X the other day. I didn't want to do both deck profiles the same week until both were good in my eyes. This is a fucking good deck. It can kill you out of nowhere, and that's it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know, chat. What do you think?